Ever wear a perfume so good that it keeps you up at night thinking about just how great it is? I have, and it's called Cologne Indelible by Frederic Malle. Now, I've covered this before. I've had it for many years, as you can see. I've used up about half of a bottle here, and I made videos discussing just about every fragrance in the Frederic Malle line, but every once in a while, one of them just strikes me again so powerfully that I want to make a video dedicated strictly to that one perfume. So Cologne Indelible, I feel like it's been poorly maligned in the past. Reading some of the reviews from when it first came out, a lot of people compared it to things like Tom Ford's Neroli Portofino or just your average fresh cologne, but oh no, it's much more than that. The concept, of course, is to make a cologne, which is a typically very short-lived, refreshing splash of a fragrance, last forever, thus the word indelible, which I will continue to say in English and not try to do the French accent for it. Indelible. So it's those musks, it's that musk cocktail in the base, which is so intoxicating and which was keeping me up last night just thinking about this perfume. So I feel like it's odd, in almost every review, somebody mentions Neroli Portofino. These have about as much in common as, I don't know, a painting from Monet and a painting from Greco. Yes, if you're nearly blind, you might look at them and just see two squares of color, but if you can see the details, you'll see there's very little in common. True, it's a cologne style, but I think just because it's of that genre, why do people keep talking about Neroli Portofino? I'm sorry if you're one of those people listening right now. I just got tired of hearing about it while reading reviews. Of course, the cologne, the original, was 4711. Neroli Portofino smells like that, and Cologne Indelible smells like an alien compared to those. Yes, it has a fresh, orange, blossomy, citrusy start, but immediately after that, these two perfumes and the classic cologne profile completely diverge. So everybody smells musks differently, so it's entirely possible that some people who don't quite get this cologne just aren't smelling those musks, or they just haven't given enough attention to the dry down. What's so unique and gorgeous to me about this perfume is when it starts, you do indeed get a freshness. Many people mention lemon. Lemons never came to my mind, but let's spray it right now and see. Yeah, it's lemony. Okay, I'll take it back. Just lemon plays such a small role in the development. It's like by the time you get to the end, you forget the beginning. So yeah, it's lemony. It's got a coolness, a chillness. Probably the best review that I found while trudging through them last night was by the Candy Perfume Boy, who's still around. He's rebranded as like Making Sense Makes Sense. But he's got an old review up of this that is spot on to my nose. Because yes, it has this cool, like cold lemonade type quality. But immediately, if you smell deeply, you get that signature Cologne Indelible musk in the base. And to me, this fragrance is entirely unique. That's why earlier I got a bit worked up about comparisons to Neroli Portofino, which is just such an overpriced, boring perfume compared to this. So the way it performs is after that nice refreshing blast, it often does seem to disappear early on, but as those musks work up on skin, it truly is everlasting. So I had sprayed it yesterday morning, and as I lay in bed, more than 12 hours later, I was just basking in the glow of the musks radiating off my chest. These musks are very abstract to me. They're very hard to describe, but they're not your laundry musk. They're not your clean white musk. They're not your starchy musk. I think steamy is an appropriate word, but there's also something warm and cozy. I wonder if there's some cashmere going on, as elements of it remind me of the dry down of Dante Bras, but whereas Dante Bras takes you more into this sort of earthy, shroomy, bodily musk, this never quite smells, it never smells skanky in any way, but it does really meld with and smell like skin and some kind of human warmth about it. So it has a real nice warmth that I think could translate into winter, but I have many summer memories, and I think that's part of my love for this perfume, is I just have quite a lot of memories of just summer nights basking in the beautiful orangey cologne Indelible musk after a long day out in the sun. The other miracle of this perfume is that the perfume at its late dry down is still legible as what it was at the beginning. That's to say, somehow through a feat of perfumery, the fresh orangeness and the orange blossomness of the opening remains kind of on that musky bed of a base. This is one of the great mysteries of perfume to me. I'm not a perfumer, so I'm not sure how it's done. But some perfumes tend to fall apart where the top notes disappear and you're left with something bland in the base, where like maybe a few perfumes would be interchangeable. You couldn't tell them apart in the dry down. But really great perfumers like Dominique Ropion and like Jean-Claude Elena, I find that days, weeks later, I can still smell the strip and know exactly what it is. So it doesn't go down this boring, droning, musky route that you get tired of. It extends the sense of cologne-ness on this bed of just the most intoxicating warm musks. Now, I'm sure this is completely a taste thing, given how subjective the way we smell is, given how easily one can go nose blind to certain musks, but I am just obsessed with the musks chosen here in this fragrance. They're just so addictive, they're so warm, they're so sexy, and they're never boring. To me, they have enough facets that feel like they're always shifting and changing. It was a bit of a revelation when I saw on the Frederic Malle website that they also mentioned Narcissus, and I feel like it's part of the magic of this. You get this kind of deep, rich, heady, floral thing doing its magic with those musks in the base. So it's a very specific smell. I feel like I could smell this out of 100 perfumes and know it was the Cologne Indelible musk. It's a musk like no others, and it's just really beautiful. One of the most amazing, satisfying wear experiences in my collection, and I have a lot like that. So I've probably said all I can say about Cologne Indelible. It seems not particularly popular. As I've seen it on discounters, they kind of have the prices tiered. It seems either by newness or popularity, must be based on the amount of stock that a discounter has. And it's quite reasonable right now. So go out and buy it, or maybe don't. Leave it there for me to buy another bottle or two. But I saw it going for about $150. There was a time in which Frederic Malle was not on discounters, or if it was basically at retail. And that time has passed, and they're becoming more and more plentiful on discounters, which on one hand is a little worrying. I hope none of these perfumes get the chopping block after Frederic left. But at least for now, everything's readily available, and many of them are readily available for much less than retail. So highly recommend you go out and try Cologne Indelible. If you think it disappears after an hour or two, give it some time. I promise you'll still smell it 14 hours later when those musks start to come back up and warm up on your skin and really become a part of you. So one of my all-time summer favorite fragrances, created many wonderful memories with this perfume, and I hope you like it too.